In the last video, I shared with you how to use conditions in Bricks. The problem was I had a hard time coming up with real-world reasonings for this. But I actually have done a site in the past that had some extreme condition needs, and for a reason you probably wouldn't think of. So in this video, I'm going to take you through why I did, what I did, and how conditions got me through all that. And we'll get to that right after this.
Brickschool is sponsoring a 50% off sale for both BricsBits and BricsFX. BricsBits gives you professional, easy-to-use templates, and BricsFX gives you easy-to-use, subtle animation classes that take your project to the next level. This is a limited-time offer, and your purchase helps Brickschool keep going. Links are in the description.
Okay, guys, thanks for watching that. Now let's get down to the example and show you what it is. First, let's just go ahead and look at the site. So this is Kirpa. They are a rescue organization in British Columbia, Canada, where I grew up. And they, like many charities, had really big needs without a really big budget. You know what I mean? They simply couldn't afford what they needed. They have things that are always changing. They have, stats that they have to give and many pages, and they have no staff at all to look after it. They certainly didn't have the ability to build and deploy and things on their own. They're far too busy. So that's where conditions came in. So let's take a quick look at the page first, and then I'll log in and we'll see where the conditions are. So the first condition that we see is this donate button. It only shows if you're not logged in. If you are logged in, I'll show you what happens to it in a bit. The other thing is the conditions on this page here being if the video is set to show, it shows. And if they don't want to show that video, they can remove it. Also in the footer, I use conditions for all of these. So if they have a value of their social media and they have a link, it shows. If it doesn't, then they don't. This way I didn't have to come back and rebuild. So now let's log in and kind of see behind the scenes of how this actually works. Okay, so now I'm logged in and you can see instead of the donate button, it now says edit page. And in fact, almost every page on this website says edit page, those that can be edited. Because instead of actually building a Gutenberg exam where they have to figure out how to do Word documents and whatnot, and I'm worried that they're going to screw up the fonts and all that, I make it so that they can just press edit page. They get sent in, they're given text boxes for everything. So here you see what the headers and the infos are. And if I come back here, that's these numbers here so that they can change it on the fly. Now, that isn't conditions, but what is conditions is this edit button. See, I've actually told it, if I go here and I say, okay, let's actually edit the page, at the bottom, it says, is this page editable? And if it is, what's the edit URL? So therefore, the condition is it editable? So by adding a little question to the actual page, I was able to set my own conditions. You see what I mean? So another example, let's take a look at this page here, and you'll see that there's a social media. There's a support our mission with a donate button, and those two are conditions because on each page, I give them the choice. Do you want to see the social media? If yes, it'll include that. And by the way, that include that I'm doing is a singular template. So it just says, if you want it, okay, we'll include that. And then the same with the donate button. And you'll see here, they have a sign up to their newsletter that they're not showing on this page. Now, you'll notice here on the Our Team page where I'm actually showing the team and what they do, there is no edit button. Why? Because this page here does not have the yes to the editable because there's nothing actually editable on it. This all comes out of a custom post type of team members, you know. So hopefully that kind of gives you a few new ideas of ways to use conditions that on the surface may not seem really obvious. See, by using just a couple of conditions, I was able to reduce their need for me and to be able to give them very simple tools. They can, yes, turn it on, no, turn it off. And this is just key to making a really good site for a client that doesn't have the ability or the income or whatever reason they can't look after the site themselves in a point of, say, using Gutenberg and whatnot. Just give them a light switch. You know what I mean? It's the quickest and easiest thing. Oh, and on that, you may wonder, well, how do you give them that ability? The ability is so simple. All you're doing is you're adding a select or a switch, whichever you want to use. I personally happen to use a true false. And with the true false, if it equals 1, that means it's true. If it's 0, it's false. So in other words, you just have to say, hey, if this condition equals 1, then show it. So it's as simple as that. And hopefully this kind of opens your eyes to why conditions are so important in modern web design today. So there you go. A short one to be sure, but you know, hopefully it kind of rounded off what you learned in the first one, because conditions are so easy. The hardest thing about them is the realization of why you should be using them. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a great one.